Good morning, everyone. Hello. My name is Nicole, and I'm the parent support worker for the Niagara Catholic District School Board EarlyON Child and Family Centers. I'm here today for our weekly coffee and conversation in which all parents, grandparents, guardians, and caregivers are welcome. Our program topics will revolve around ensuring you feel well, confident, and present in your parenting or caregiving role. As always, if you are unable to sit with me now, you are welcome to warm up your coffee and sit with me later at a more convenient time. In case you missed my interview with our coordinator, Donna, last week, I want to give you a quick description of how I would like to approach our weekly chats. I have a master's degree in child and youth studies and a bachelor's degree in child and youth studies and psychology. I come to this position with a lot of research and textbook experience, but I am not a parent myself, not yet anyways. I may be here to share my professional knowledge and experience, but you are the expert on your children, and I seek out and value the knowledge and perspectives that you have. You are an important contributor with unique knowledge, experiences, and strengths. For this reason, I want our weekly conversations to be collaborative in that I hope I have the opportunity to learn from you as well. So I welcome all comments, ideas, and suggestions in weeks to follow. So this week we will be discussing mindfulness. Mindfulness is defined by the Oxford Dictionary of English as a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations. So I want to start with a quick and easy mindfulness practice of using your breath. By focusing on your breath, it will help you remain present in the moment. It is normal for your mind to wander. All you have to do is simply acknowledge it and come back to focus on your breath. So if you could please find yourself in a comfy seated position, or you are welcome to lie down as well, but it might be more difficult to drink your warm coffee or tea. But if you find it comfortable, you are welcome to close your eyes, and we are going to begin by focusing on our breath. So just take a moment to notice your breath. Is your breath slow, fast, short, long? Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, and once again just notice your breath. Ask yourself, is your breath shallow? Is your breath only in your chest area? Or is it deeper? Are you able to breathe within your belly as well? This little exercise helps us become aware of what our resting breath is like. Now we will take a few moments to practice deep belly breathing to elicit a relaxation response. So I want you to breathe through your nose and out through your nose, and we are going to breathe into the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's repeat this. Inhale, count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, count of 5. Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat this a couple times on your own. Notice the way your body feels. You may feel your body softening. Your shoulders may have lowered. Just take a moment to notice. Now let's transition our focus from our breath and use our senses to feel what is happening in our environment. For me, I notice my warm mug. I can feel the steam filtering through the air beneath me and warming the lower part of my face. I can smell the toasty aroma of my freshly brewed coffee. I can hear the typing of my colleagues in the next room. I am here, I am present, and I am grateful. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Slowly reopen your eyes and return your breath back to its natural state. That simple exercise provided an opportunity for you to focus your attention on the moment. If you participated, then congratulations, you just practiced mindfulness. An article written by Catherine Moore for PositivePsychology.com described mindfulness to be an act of purposefully, what we just did, very purposefully, and non-judgmentally paying attention to the present moment, which means if you're currently practicing mindfulness during our coffee and conversation, then you're not going to be thinking about what time you have to pick up the kids or what emails you still have to read or what you'll be making for dinner. Your energy and focus will lie strictly within the steam rising from your cup of coffee and the gentle sound of my voice. It is important to ensure that you take some time for yourself to be mindful, even if it is during a daily chore like washing dishes or eating. We live in such a fast-paced world, we rarely complete one task at a time. But do me a favor. Next time you have to wash the dishes, I want you to focus on nothing more than the warmth of the water and how it makes your skin feel. Or the next time you have a meal, really think about each bite. What's the texture like? How does it smell or taste? Perhaps you may even notice that you're tasting the food more than you ever have before. I recognize it can be difficult to practice mindfulness in each of your daily routines because the fact of the matter is you'll likely have little ones pawing at your feet looking for attention. And my advice is obviously not to ignore them, but instead find a time in the day where you know you can find time for yourself. Perhaps that's first thing in the morning before the kids wake up or slightly after they go to bed. And when you find yourself in that quiet space, I want you to try to take 10 to 15 minutes for yourself to just return to your thoughts, think inside, and really feel connected to your mind and body. But why bother? According to research outlined in the article by Catherine Moore, which I will link in the comments below if you'd like to read it as well, there are 7 key benefits to practicing mindfulness. And of those 7, mindfulness has been shown to reduce levels of anxiety, increase the ability to disengage emotions when focus is necessary, reduce stress, and manage physical pain. In addition, it can improve your overall well-being by helping you regulate and express your emotions, develop and utilize better coping skills, be less easily distracted on non-task activities. It can help you sleep better, it can help you practice self-compassion, and it can potentially help build resilience. So I want to focus here on an interesting benefit I just mentioned, which was to increase your ability to disengage emotions when focus is necessary. So as a parent, I think this one may be so helpful. So I want you to imagine yourself right now in a grocery store and your child wants a chocolate bar or a doll or anything else that child sees and really wants in that moment. And you said, no, not this time. So your child has now thrown the item that they asked for across the aisle. They've dropped to the floor. They've started wailing their body parts all over. And in that moment, you will feel an array of emotions. You'll probably feel embarrassed, angry, frustrated, and quite frankly, ready to blow up. But with mindfulness practice, you might be better able to respond to those emotions in a more positive way. So if you approach your child in that moment with an equal tantrum, the child is not going to know how to regulate their own emotions in that moment and will likely continue freaking out. But if you are able to take a few deep breaths, disengage your emotions, and get down to their level and respond to the issue in a calm state, modeling for your child what their behavior should look like. For similar reasons, mindfulness also connects with our pedagogy for learning. So one of the 4 foundations of how does learning happen to ensure children flourish is the child's sense of well-being. We want to ensure that children have healthy patterns of eating, physical activity, and sleep. We want them to understand how to self-care, we want them to have a sense of self, and we want them to know how to self-regulate. Part of that self-care comes from their parents' mindfulness and ability to model well-being. Our pedagogy would encourage you to incorporate opportunities and time to practice self-help and self-care skills based on each child's capabilities throughout their daily routines and activities. But how would you be able to ensure this if you are unable to practice mindfulness yourself? Your ability to practice mindfulness when spending time with your child or children will allow you to support their well-being by being responsive to their needs and various stressors. In addition to our pedagogy, Courtney E. Ackerman wrote an article about the benefits of mindfulness for children in an article for positivepsychology.com. She outlines research that suggests mindfulness can do the following for children. It can reduce the effects of bullying. It can enhance focus in children with ADHD. It can reduce attention problems, improve mental health and well-being, and improve social skills when well taught and practiced with children and adults, or adolescents, sorry. So this article also provided many great experiences of practicing mindfulness with your child. And I'm going to attach that to the comments below if you'd like to review them. So now that we know why mindfulness is important, we're going to talk about how we can incorporate mindfulness into our daily lives. So mindfulness can be practiced at any point of your day in any way that feels right to you. Your goal really should just to simply be present. For example, when taking a 10-minute walk, while it is still a form of self-care, it may not be considered a mindful practice unless you are allowing yourself to only focus on that walk. So noting the changing colors of the leaves or the cold air brushing against your skin, perhaps listening to the sound of a nearby creek or passing cars. Noticing and embracing the environment of the here and now is what mindfulness really is. So to conclude, I'm going to share some ideas for mindfulness that you can practice yourself as well as with your children, as provided by childhoodbynature.com, which of course I will link below. What's wonderful about practicing mindfulness outside is that no matter what changes in the world around us, nature will always be constant. There will always be a sunrise and sunset. There will always be birds chirping or animals ruffling leaves. And there will always be the changing of seasons, at least for us here in Ontario. So childhoodbynature.com gives some great examples of mindfulness meditation to complete with your child. I'm going to offer right now what's called a cloud meditation that they designed based on child's mindfulness practices to help our children be more focused, calm, and relaxed, which is a book by Christopher Willard. And then I have further adapted this cloud meditation as well. So with the upcoming cold months, to practice this meditation, I advise you to pick a sunny, albeit cloudy day. Gather some blankets and pillows and stuffed animals that you are happy to have outside with you, and find yourself and your child a safe and quiet space to lie down together. So once you've found yourself here, you're going to want to start by grounding yourselves, much like we did earlier in this coffee and conversation. I want you to invite your child to close their eyes and start breathing deep breaths straight into their belly. And if you want, you can let them rest their hands on their belly, which will help with a mind-to-body connection, because they'll be able to feel their hand moving with each breath. So then you can ask them to quietly reflect on how their body feels against the ground. And you can help them with asking them if they feel what you feel. So I feel the cold, hard ground against my back. Do you? So next you're going to open your eyes together and choose one cloud in the sky to focus on. Remind your child that they should focus on only one cloud. Encourage them to imagine their breath to be moving that cloud. So with each exhale, they are pushing the cloud to move by them. I want you to practice this for a moment. You can explain to your child that clouds come and pass, much like our thoughts. And just like moving the clouds with each breath, your child can change their thoughts with each breath, and those thoughts will fade away much like the clouds. What kind of thoughts might your child associate with each cloud? Ask them this, and consider for yourself as well what thoughts you'd like to pass you by, much like the clouds in the sky. So after a few moments, you'll bring your awareness back to your body and encourage your child to do the same. You can focus on your toes and your fingers, your tongue and your bellies, and you'll feel the sense of relaxation, and you will have practiced mindfulness together. Obviously, it may take some practice for both you and your child, but what is important is to remember that the simple act of trying is positive for your self-care as well. So I would love if you would take a moment next week to share in the comments a moment where you alone or you and your child practiced mindfulness together. Sharing the ways in which you connected to the here and now will give all our followers ideas on how to accomplish this. As always, let's work together and support each other. All comments and suggestions are welcome. Next week, we will go over the importance of getting grounded when you are feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or whatever other negative bodily sensations you want to escape. It will go hand in hand with this week talking about mindfulness, so it's important to start your practice of mindfulness this week before we get talking about grounding yourself next week. And don't forget, tomorrow morning my ECE colleague Diane will be posting an activity that you can perform with your Mindful Mini in relation to our conversation today about mindfulness. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week, and I will talk to you next Wednesday. Enjoy your coffee.